Canadian show, North American radio show, and now worldwide show, the Lizzie T Blog Talk Radio Show. She wants to know who you are, what you do, your contact info, anything new. And now, welcome the amazing Lizzie T.
Hello, and welcome everyone to another day, another show, another fantastic guest. We are here today. Live is our regular hour, 6, sometimes to 6:30, with an amazing guest, and we are so excited to be able to share with the world. By the way, we have over 54 countries listening to us right now, and I'm so happy and so honored that it's been almost 4 years and we're here strong as we can be. We've had many days and many amazing shows with very interesting people, different walks of life. We've had authors, we've had singers, we've had inventor, coaches, entrepreneurs, and even people that have done amazing things in the community. And today is not going to be the exception. Before I bring my amazing guest, which is patiently waiting on the other line, want to make sure that he gets comfortable, probably grabs a glass of water or whatever it is that he likes to drink. I will take the opportunity to speak to you and to thank you for supporting the show. We do have sponsors that are sponsoring the show, and thanks to Nature Nova for sponsoring the show. Thank you. And also, I would like to let you know that right after my guest and right after the interview, we have our music section. This is a radio show. We have the Lizzie T show on YouTube, but we also have the radio show here on our Thanks to Blog Talk Radio, an amazing platform that we've been utilizing for the last 4 years. So right after our interview, we will have music. So if you're a singer, songwriter, and you are interested in having your music, your solo, you just have launched a solo, and you've sent it to radio shows and doesn't seem to catch, some of those radio stations' attention, send it to us. We will play it for you. We do not discriminate. We're working on some workshops. If you would like to be a little bit more prepared how to act on interviews, we have workshops. We are working on a webinar, not seminars, webinar now. And so sign up. I will be posting on my social media some of the information. Speaking on social media, we are right now tweeting, we're on Instagram, we are on Facebook, and obviously our YouTube channel. So follow us there and make sure that you do comment. And if you have a question you would like to comment on our social media, there is a picture of our very handsome author, and there's a link, and you can click on that link and you can listen to us live as well. So the Facebook is Facebook.com/Lizzie T Radio. Sounds good? Okay, so without further ado, let's talk about our amazing guest. His name is Patrick Littlejohn. So Patrick Littlejohn, he is an international recording artist. Hey, I don't have an MP3, but he also is an author with an inspirational book. He has a CD titled The Waterfalls. His book is titled Faith. Want to know why that title? He is born in South Carolina. My goodness. Wow. I think this is my fourth guest from South Carolina. He attended to Seminary Catholic Seminar as a youth at the age of 13. He studied religion at St. John's Smith University, where he was inspired to seek the spiritual truth and knowledge. He reached for divine revelation. He had inspirational dreams where he heard music, which he actually recorded. Oh, I love stories like this. Patrick studied music as youth and college, and he knew as a very young person and an adult to combine music and his belief and spiritual belief. Also to plant the love, to plant and love the love in humanity. He is a member of the Singular Society, and he is studying an online course to Practical Single Schools of Music. Wow. Well, without further ado, let's welcome him with a wonderful round of applause. Let's feel him welcome. And his name again is author Patrick Littlejohn. Hello, and welcome to the Lizzie T Radio Show, Patrick. How are you doing this evening or afternoon for you? I'm not sure.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. My career and everything is taking off. I've been blessed.
Oh, that is so good to hear. I love your enthusiasm, Patrick. I love your love for life. So that's awesome. So you are a very young person, I hear. Let's take us a little bit back and how music got started in your life. Did you have somebody in your life, a mother, a father, or a friend, or a family member that was into learning about music or singing or playing? What influenced you to become a musician?
My father, he loved music, and I took piano lessons when I was 10 years old. I saw Jerry Lee Lewis on TV once, and he was singing Great Balls of Fire. And smoke was coming out of his piano. And I told my father, I can play like that. I can do that. He said, you can? I said, yes, I can do that. So my father bought me a piano. And he made me play the piano. You know, he paid for my music lessons, and he made sure that I would practice every day. So he was a great influence on my life. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the musician I am today.
Wow, and kudos to your father, Patrick, for encouraging. And I love stories like this when parents are 150% supportive of their kids' career. And I hear a lot of this as a parent, being one myself, that a lot of parents said, I want my kids to be somebody in life, to be a doctor, to be an engineer, to be a lawyer, any of those other careers as a musician. But really, think about it, guys. What about if there is another Jerry Lewis in the world? I mean, we need that kind of, we need art. We need art in this world. So don't take those dreams away from somebody that is supposed to become somebody in the world. So, and good for your father. So 10 years old, Jerry, Patrick, 10 years old. And why Jerry Lewis? I mean, was he such a big influence? Anybody else that inspired you?
Yeah, I was very inspired by Jerry Lee Lewis. But I had a cousin who visited me, and he was a fan of Fats Domino, and in fact they called him Little Fats. And my first tune that I learned on the piano, by ear, was Blueberry Hill. He taught me Blueberry Hill, and that's the name Blueberry Hill. And I played by ear, until my father, he sent me to have piano lessons. And back then, piano lessons cost only 10 cents a lesson. Well, now, it costs a lot more. But he made sure that he sure did. And he paid for my education. He bought me anything I wanted as far as my my musical growth. He bought me horns, piano, organs. He bought me trumpets. He bought me anything that I wanted because he saw my talent. He saw my talent.
Mm-hmm. Good for
Yes.
you. Good for you. So you had a CD. You have a CD. It's called The Waterfall. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why did you name it The Waterfall, and what inspired you to do this CD?
Well, the CD itself is New Age classical inspirational music. And I did it because I used to hear music when I was a child, and it was God sent. I have a song on my CD now called Sopa Winds. That was a song that I got when I was a child, when I was a kid. I used to hear it and I would cry, because I was getting this beautiful music from the higher worlds of God, and I still hear those beautiful music now, and I just, made a CD of the songs that I heard. One song is on the internet now called Dream of Peace. I was in prayer and meditation, and I was taken to another dimension, and I just heard this beautiful music. And I got up.
Wow.
Yeah, I got up from my chair because I normally meditate and pray while in my chair. Sometimes lying down, and sometimes in the lotus position. And I got up and I went to the piano. I got manuscript paper, and I wrote the song. I kept hearing the voice of the angels and the music, and I wrote it. And it was recorded several years later when I was in the hospital. I had a problem. I was in a nursing home for 3.5 years. As an invalid, I couldn't talk, I couldn't walk. But I had a visitation from messages of God telling me it's time for me and my music. And I heard Dream of Peace. That's the name of the song that I heard 30 years earlier when I was in prayer and meditation. Back then, it wasn't time for it. I told my son, the world is not ready for my music yet. And now is the time. I was discovered in the nursing home, a hospital for the elderly, disabled, and the handicapped, by a physical therapist who worked there on call. She also played violin on the symphony orchestra. And my physical therapist, after I was able to learn how to walk, talk, and it took me God knows how long to learn how to play the piano again. But I was very persistent. And I was able to write the music by ear, just like Beethoven and Bach and the rest of those guys handle. I did it by ear. I had no computer because I didn't know anything about computers. I was just hearing the music, and I never scored a piece for a symphony orchestra before. But it was like I had Beethoven on one side and Tchaikovsky on the other side, giving me the parts and the counterpoint of all the music that I had to write for an orchestra, 40, 60-piece orchestra. And I was found in the hospital by a physical therapist who played violin on the symphony orchestra. And my physical therapist told her about me and my writings of the music, the score that I was writing, and she came to my room and saw manuscript paper all over the floor and all over the place. And she asked me, have you finished it yet? I said, no. I gathered up the paper and I gave it to her, and she looked at it. She said, okay, I'll tell you what, when you finish it, you call me. She gave me her business card. You call me, and I will come and pick up your score and take it to the conductor of the orchestra. And she did. She picked up my score and she took it to the conductor of the orchestra, and he loved it. And it was amazing how it sounded because I had to do it by ear. I didn't have computer software like the kids have today. And it sounded all right, man. You go on the internet, Dream of Peace, Pastor Littlejohn. It was played by a amateur choir. We had problems with it because they had to learn their parts. The kids and the elderly and the retirees, they were on the orchestra. And it sounded terrible. But that night when they played it, it was like the I don't know, the love of God, man, had descended on the choir, man, and the orchestra, and they really played it. They really played it. The inspiration they gave to the audience, man, was amazing. I had people coming to me in tears, crying because they saw how hard I worked on this particular composition in a nursing home. And it's a great story, a very inspirational story. The crowd stood up and they were crying. You men were crying.
And I feel the emotion and the conviction right now just for what you're telling me, the story. It's just incredible, your testimony. And it's amazing that you're not ready for the nursing home yet, because there was a greater work that you needed to do. I mean, that piece alone that you were describing to me, I'm dying to hear it. I'm going to go on YouTube to try to find it, because it sounds incredible. If you're telling me that people were crying when they heard it, and good for that therapist to believe in you and to know that you had a lot more to give in life than just being in a nursing home. That's fantastic story, fantastic testimony. I mean, the love of God towards your life is just, you have a great purpose to be here, and good for you for pursuing and for working so hard in this piece. You're listening, everyone, to the Lizzie T Show. We have with us an amazing singer. He's an instrumentalist, and how he is a composer, and he is an author. I'm dying to hear about the book. If you are interested in speaking with us, give us a call. The number is 516-387-1549. I know it's cold. It is 6:30 Toronto time. You're probably putting the supper on the table right now, but tablet is on, and you probably are listening to us while I'm talking. Perhaps you would like to interact and put a comment on Facebook /Lizzie T Radio. We will be talking with Patrick Littlejohn a little bit more about his greater, work, which is the book. But before I do that, I will cut for one word of my sponsor, and I'll be right back.
Lizzie T Radio Show is sponsored by NatureNova.ca, where dreams, memories, imagination, and discovery soar. Nature Nova is all about wildlife adventure, outdoor discovery, nature interpretation, and image originality. Nature Nova offers dynamic nature programs and presentations for schools, museums, libraries, nature centers, and special interest groups of all kinds. Be sure to visit naturenova.ca and book your special program or presentation today.
Hi, I'm Natasha Birchmohan, and I'm reaching out to every hardworking Canadian. The average Canadian spends most of their lifetime paying off their mortgage. What if you can have your mortgage work for you? More time for you, more time for your family, more money in your bank account. Contact Natasha Birchmohan and team, mortgage broker and qualified experts, to help guide you towards financial freedom today. Visit us at bridgemoregroup.com or contact us at 1-866-553-7467, or just Google Natasha Birchmohan at Mortgage Intelligence.
Lizzie T Radio Show.
I am back. I'm back, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for our sponsors. We are live today. It is about 6:30 Toronto time, a regular time where we get together every day with amazing guests from all over the world. Today, I have Patrick Littlejohn, and we're talking about his amazing life, somebody who's gone through so much, had hardship, health issues, but here he is sharing his life as a composer, as a musician, and now we're going to be talking about his book. But I did find, Patrick, on YouTube, a song that is called "A Dream of Peace." Is that one of your creations?
Yes, that was the creation that I got from God. Doing meditation and prayer, I was taken to another dimension. I used the technique the stimuli, and I was taken to another dimension in which I heard the music and the angels singing and the orchestra from the heavenly worlds. And when I was in the hospital, 30 years later, like I told my son, it wasn't time for it then. But when I was in the hospital, a group of messengers, an order of masters, you may call them angels or whatever, approached me in a dream and told me that it's time. It's time, and I knew that they were implying about my music. But being an invalid in the hospital, I was like Moses at the burning bush. I can't do it. You're coming to me as an invalid. I can't do it. I was crying when I told them this. But a couple of days later, I prayed and I said, I promised God that I would do it. And all of a sudden, my health started getting better. It started getting better. If you go on Facebook, I graduated from the bed to a wheelchair, from there into a walker. I had to learn how to walk again. It was stressful, but I learned how to walk again. I was crying when I was able to go to the piano in the dining room. I was crying because my hands would not work. But I was persistent. I was persistent all day long. When the dining room was available, I was there, until the middle of the night. And the nurse was kind enough to bring me my medicine while I was in the dining room, struggling with the piano. But it worked. One day, the activity director came to me in my room and told me, I'm sorry. She came to the physical therapy room. And they saw me struggling, trying to write my music with a piano that was out of tune, keys sticking. She came into the physical therapy room and told me, Pat, go to your room. Go to your room. I wonder why she was telling me this. But after my therapy, I went to my room, and when I went in, I saw the activity department bought me a piano, a 2-track Casio piano, for me to finish my composition. And it took me 8 months, but I finished it. And I was discovered.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. And I'm going to try to get a little bit for you guys to listen here. So bear with me 1 second, everyone. So what I'm going to request from you, Patrick, and hopefully your producer can send me a bit of a MP3 version so I can play it here if it's okay with you. Let's talk a little bit. Yeah, let's talk a little bit, and I really hate to run out of time. Let's talk about the book now. The book is called Faith. What, after everything that you have done and everything that you've gone through and everything that your health issues, here you're composing again, but what happened? Were you a writer before, or this again was something that came to you as a dream, or what happened?
I started as a writer, but like I told my son, my compositions during my time, it wasn't ready for my kind of music. I was doing inspirational music that I'm doing now, but it wasn't time for it. But when I was in the hospital and the messengers of God came to me, it's time. It was time, and my music, it was accepted. It was accepted, and now I'm writing inspirational music. My CD has songs like The Child in the Wilderness, The Heavenly Worlds, different kinds of inspirational songs, piano music healing music that you can lay down in your bed and meditate, I am affiliated with Joanne Freeberg, who is the founder and CEO of Western North Carolina Music Foundation. She heard my music and she was very impressed. She uses it every day, and she uses it for her meditation and prayer. And I've gotten, doctors, chiropractors, wanting the music where people can just relax. I've had people come to me wanting to use my music for surgery so they can take it and play it during surgery so the doctors and everybody who can relax and perform the surgery, because it is also healing music.
Wow. Wow. So
Yes.
this book it is a music book, or is a book that helps others to understand music better or understand? I mean, the title is called Faith, right? You called it Faith. Why did you decide to call it Faith?
Because of the faith I had in God since I was a child. My health issues were bad as a child, and that's why I was protected by my parents. As you see, I have faced death many times. I've been in the hospital fighting for my life. I've been in the hospital fighting for my sanity. I'm dealing with both issues here, my life and my sanity. And God, He sometimes gives inspiration and spiritual experiences from a person that's close to death. And I went into the higher worlds. I met angels there. I met masters there. And they were of all races. And, I mean, it was amazing to see the masters and angels who are, fulfilling the work of God, the co-workers for God. And they appear to some people. And I am fortunate enough to have them appear to me. And the messages that they gave me, I wrote in my book, because those messages that they gave me, it confirmed some of the writings in the New Testament and other religions too. That's why I don't discriminate, because I have many books of different religions, and I've noticed some of the wisdom you find in one religion, you can find it in others too. And that's why I decided to go on a search. But I am fortunate enough to have visitations from messengers and angels of God. I've been in the higher worlds. I've heard the music. In fact, the cover of the book has an eagle flying over the snow-capped mountains. That was a dream I had.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful. It's a beautiful cover. It's a beautiful book. And who would you say, Patrick, that is best suited? Who are you targeting? Is it for young? Is it for older? Is it for more mature? Who is your target audience for that book?
My target audience is for the world, not only children, but older people too. Because see, people want to know about what's going on, life after death. What's going on? And I'm able to talk about this in my book. You see, and that experience I had with the eagle flying over the snow-capped mountains. I heard this beautiful song which I'm going to have in my next CD. It's going to be called Your Soul, I think. That's because I don't have I'm not a lyricist. I'm just mainly a musician. But I heard the angels singing as I was flying through the heavenly worlds of God. They were la 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 la. It's like, it was so beautiful, man. Blissful, peaceful, the ecstasy I felt, and it's like, that's the kind of feeling when you are in the higher worlds of God. Bliss, ecstasy, love, and the most beautiful music you can ever hear. And I have I've taken some of that music, some of it now. You can't take all of it and bring it down because that's almost impossible. But about 2 or 3 songs that I heard, I was able to bring it down, and have it performed on my music, on my CDs and whatever. I got some beautiful songs that I got on my new CD called The Voice from Beyond. That's the voice I heard from God. That's the voice I heard, man, from beyond. And I just have a lot of inspirational songs that I heard mainly in my dreams, and mainly, hearing it every day. All you have to do is just listen. And music is all around you. All you have to do is just listen for it. Just listen.
And that's good for you that you're able to pay attention to that voice, because a lot of us with the world, we're so consumed about our own selfishness, and we don't have, and God is around us all the time. And if we pay attention, if we want to, and that's the word, that's the key word, everyone. If you want to listen, He will definitely talk to you, just like he's talking to Patrick, and just like talk to some of you. I've had a lot of people that have that experience. They share, they witness that. And so if so many people are witnessing and are sharing their experiences, I mean, we cannot all be wrong. Patrick, I don't want to forget to advise my audience, where can they get your book?
They can go online and get it from Amazon and various booksellers, Barnes and Noble, various booksellers that sell books online.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I have a website you can go on, PatrickLittlejohn.com, and it talks about me, my biography, my music, and everything you want to know is on PatrickLittlejohn.com website.
Awesome. And I have...
Yeah.
I'll have the links, everyone, PatrickLittlejohn.com. I have the links, all my social media, Facebook/Lizzie T Radio. There's a button right now for you to listen to this interview right now or later on, because it is recorded. And there is links for his fan page on Facebook, Twitter, and also I'll have the links for his website as well, PatrickLittlejohn.com. Phenomenal. Patrick, I can't believe that, a whole half an hour has just gone by so quickly. You're the type of person, that loving person, so enthusiastic, so happy with your life, even though you've gone through so much struggles. But thanks to the grace of God, you are able to overcome all of those struggles and say, hey, life is wonderful, even though you have those struggles in your life. And God is loving, and He loves you, and He is taking care of you in such a great way, because you have so much to give to the world with your music and now with your book. Any last word, my friend?
Yeah. I would like for you to go on Jango.com/music/Patrick Littlejohn. I'm rated with the world greatest inspirational musicians like Yanni, George Winston, and other musicians. I've been blessed to be on that international radio system, and my music is played with these various artists. Also, when I was in the seminary, and God told me that the world is going to be your church. You won't need a building, and it's happening now with my music all over the world and my book all over the world too. So God is keeping His promise to me and to the world.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much, Patrick, for being with us. I know you're a very busy person. You have so much to do in the world, and still giving and giving and giving. Congratulations on your book. Congratulations on your music. Congratulations on everything that you're doing, and for sharing that with us and with the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And that was everyone, author and musician. My goodness, I was just listening to the video that he has on YouTube, and it's incredible. It's like listening to angels, and that must have been what he experienced when he is connected directly to God. And if you want to experience that, perhaps that you're not there yet, how about you listen to his music or purchase his book and get that connection? We all need spiritualism in our life is so important.